Hello everyone, long time no see. Yeah, I'm going to be doing my videos again. My laptop was broke, it took me months to get fixed. Been really busy. Anyway, so I miss doing my videos, so I'm looking forward. Now I've got so much to talk about. There's loads I want to talk about. And really my videos are targeted, let me just say this, my videos are targeted because there's so many people talking about the kind of stuff that isn't reported in the mainstream news and the kind of stuff that really is not obvious until it's sort of, till you're led to look certain places. Um, the whole truth thing, really. Okay, there's so many people doing that. But, I want to reach out to people who I know who maybe aren't aware that we're being taken for a ride. I think most people are becoming aware of that now. There is a mass awakening going on, and it's exciting times. Okay, but yeah, so there's lots I want to talk about. I just want to talk like really briefly in this video about zombies and aliens, right? That's why I'm calling it zombies and aliens, or maybe I'll call it aliens and zombies. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of fear porn going on at the moment. Okay. Now, one thing that was really shocking to me, I want to talk mainly about this one particular newspaper article, and funnily enough, the Daily Mail, I'm talking about a UK newspaper here, the Mail Online, I'm getting this information from, there was an article in there, quite extreme. It was an interview with Nick Pope, who is a former Ministry of Defence guy, and he was employed by the Ministry of Defence as a UFO investigator. Now, just a little bit of history on him. He was what's that noise? There's a noise coming here. I don't know how the quality of this recording is going to turn out, but I'll carry on. Okay, so he was employed, I think, to dismiss and to debunk UFO incidences, but while in his job role, he became a believer in UFOs and quite an enthusiast. But he is a very professional investigator. He's obviously trained in this, working for the MOD, and I've seen documentaries where he's been interviewed as a believer, but he does rule out a lot of incidences and talks quite negatively of a lot of UFO incidences where other UFO enthusiasts would be like, obviously like very much one way on it, as in pro the incidents being authentic. Okay, so anyway, so he was interviewed recently and it's in the newspaper about the Olympic Games. And he says, just a couple of bullet points here, I'll put the link in the description. UFO expert Nick Pope says massive summer events like the Olympics would be a prime time for an alien encounter. Ministry of Defence, quote, has planned for the worst outcomes, attack and invasion, unquote. Now that's quite a strong statement, okay? Now this is the big bold bullet point writing in the newspaper. Okay, now one more. We should prepare for even the most seemingly unfathomable. Okay, now it's interesting to read the article. Do read it, because basically he's saying that, just to paraphrase here, that there's a strong possibility that we'll be invaded by extraterrestrials from another planet. And that it's all gonna, the shit will hit the fan at the Olympics. Now, interestingly, and I don't have time to go into it all, right, but maybe in another video, but the Olympics and aliens, it goes back a long time. There's a lot of connections there. I mean, Olympics and aliens doesn't have a lot of relevance, but you look at like previous Olympic ceremonies in years gone by, there's a whole lot of suspiciousness with the Olympics, the whole Zion thing. It's really weird. So that's what I'm looking out for at the moment. Now, there's something important I want to talk about. Do you remember this whole time when Comet Elenin was the big talk of the internet? Okay, and I was very on top of Comet Elenin, all the info, all the data concerning Comet Elenin. Now this is going back 2011, some time ago, but like there was very compelling information that suggested that Comet Elenin was you know, gonna cause some havoc, or you know, have some significance of some kind, right? Very compelling information. All information pointed to it, but right, the time came and went, and Comet Elenin just came on by, and nothing really came of it, right? And so I was left wondering, well, what was that all about? You know, why was there all this information and data that suggested so strongly, and you know, there was this big craze and nothing came about? You know, because I'm not talking about a couple of little things, you know, vague little things. I'm talking about, look at my previous Comet Elenin videos, they're all still there, right? All the information's still there in the archives of my videos, but not just mine, there's tons of stuff on the internet. Okay, so I'm wondering, right, is this whole like alien Psy-Ops, right? Because that's what we're talking about here, alien Psy-Ops, right? Is it, okay, and you know, I'm not just talking about the Olympics, right? Again, I've talked about this before in previous videos, right? If we look at the past few months, the past year, even the past few weeks, the amount of mainstream, okay, I'm talking about mainstream here, information regarding Earth-like planets, possibility of extraterrestrials, possibility of extraterrestrials visiting now, in the past, in the future. It's just aliens, 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 spaceships, UFOs. It's all in the media, right? All this disclosure, it's just you know, been crazy this past while. So, and I've said before as well, you know, when it comes to the media, right, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. There's a lot of stuff to report on, right? Now, news is selected and broadcast, right? And someone somewhere, right, or some think tank or some group, okay, well, we know that all the world's media is owned by 6 people, okay, they carefully select what news, you know, the news is selected in order to serve an agenda, a psychological agenda, right? The way that the sheeple must be steered in their thinking, and you know, that's how it works. Okay, so if something is being pushed and pushed and pushed in the media for a period of many months in many media outlets, there's a reason for it. Okay, and this brings us into the zombie thing, right? A lot of zombie talk. What's that about? Yeah, there's been like zombie outbreak in America. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but there's been a lot of incidences in Florida. You know, look at the news, see for yourself. You know, like, I mean, why can't they call it cannibalism, right? No, the word zombie is very specifically used. There's been a lot of zombie talk on the media, a hell of a lot of it, right? It's you know, movies. I'm talking about movies for, you know, that's another thing, movies. Okay, which is interesting as well. I saw a documentary where, you know, they were explaining how a lot of events, like, you know, big events, you know, like 9/11 and different like world-changing events were sort of subtly predicted in movies previous to the event. Yeah, it seems to be something that the Illuminati like to do. So and the Olympics, same again. So if history is anything to go by, then something is going to go down at the Olympics. I don't know what's going to go down at the Olympics. It could be nothing, right? It could be like a Comet Elenin type thing, like, you know, like a, you know, not a false flag event, but like a false flag info thing, you know. And there's an info war. We're in the age of an info war, right? This is the age of of info wars. It is. Okay, it's there's a lot of confusion in the world. Yeah. So anyway, have a look. Right, I'm just going to post one link. It's going to be the link about the Mick Pope speaking about the 2012 Olympics. Very interesting. It's interesting in the fact that this does not come from an alternative media type website. It comes from a mainstream. It's a mainstream guy. a mainstream institution, you know, speaking through a mainstream newspaper for mainstream people in the world. You know, this is not like a David Icke publication or website. You know. So make of it what you will, and I'll talk to you soon, and we'll get, and I think we'll start looking at things more specifically and chewing the fat over some things of late.